bathroom to use. My balls hang low, take a bitch on the loose, taking all the nigga bitches in heat. When I could do shit, I ain't never been a fight that give a fuck. If you really got a problem, we can get it, bro. From the six, not a promise, so we live it up. This fight, ooh, we can't get enough. Put down that natty before this goes badly. Let your ass up like a wet rat fatty. Fuck you up like a boy talking back to his daddy. You can catch all the smoke like a hot box daddy. Like straight to on a dime, black cold. Fucking up a bitch just cause I go. I want anybody wanna cry, pussy gon' take it nuts. I'm through like a rock on these snowflakes. I have the cheeks and I'm busted on the whole face. Yo, you be like slipping in at my place. Turn the trash, cooking rappers, serve it on a paper plate. That's me. Yeah, serve it up, please, 16. It's where you'll be buried underneath my seat. As I'm sitting at the top, pick my teeth, put the bars of bad rappers out of date. Guess why I got a dead vibe? But the girls say they love it when I'm in my black diamond. Bro, here like you're telling me a story, been an motherfucker on the tailgate for home. Should've kept me in my cage, trying to blackball the beast on the bill, my rage. I'm about to have a feast, Thanksgiving at my place in town. Turkey, I'm serving up pussy on the tray. Every mud falls, I'll be letting mud fly. Get rowdy, we can really let the blood fly. Full throttle with a bottle when I ship it to the floor, leave it twisted like a lift Chevy blow top. Came, I'm the man, I don't give a fuck. Prison when the green came, long good. Have your girl bent over, holding on to my stick. Couple, I give it to her raw, then I blow it in the guts. I'm ready. This about to be my year, Black Betty. Let me jam right here. Crank it up for the hicks and the sticks. You can find me in the hollow with the guns in the bed. Side by side. Are you ready to ride? Motherfuckers really want it. Are you ready to die? Sharpshooter with the tool. Keep on talking like you're cool. Till I light your ass up. Are you ready to fry? I know. When you're mouthing on that phone, make you feel real tough. And they say, dude, you're home, but I go. So what's the count back home? Nigga, bring it on the chicken. What's the suicide? Oh, you don't like me, you kiss me.
All right, welcome everybody to the Wednesday Wage. I'm still working on getting co-hosts up here and other speakers. So I put the requests out, so waiting for a little bit on that. So share the space, and we're going to have some fun today and some good Revolt education. So I did want to start. First, can I get some thumbs up if you can hear me all right? And mic's good. All right, cool. Like I said, we do have some more speakers that should be showing up here. So the purpose of this space is to help build a base of understanding for the whole CULT.DAO community going forward as we grow. And more specifically, to educate cult manders and revolters on how to apply the rules of engagement to a proposal. Give me 1 second. So we're just talking about Revolt To Earn, which is CULT.DAO's first ecosystem token and has been built on the Polygon network. Whereas Cult works to fund proposals furthering decentralization, Revolt seeks to support the many individuals who are working towards the same goal. So why are we doing this space? It's going to speed up the voting process. It's going to assist revolters to understand what does and doesn't constitute as an active revolt to remove any confusion. It's going to help decrease the amount of, quote, bad proposals being submitted, which can drain the treasury but can also lower the bar on future proposals. We also want to procreate new ideas for the community for acts of revolt. So I'm going to start this off. Let's see if we can get more people up here. But I want to start off by reading something. And I'm going to be reading. This is a Revolt To Earn. What's it called? Let me find it. This is a medium written by Mr. Amodulus, who created the CULT.DAO ecosystem. And this is one of the first Revolt To Earn mediums. And it gives an idea of why Revolt was even created. And I'm going to read this because, for one, I think it's a less read medium, and just for more people to understand and get a feel for what Revolt is and what it can do. You know, I think a lot of these things aren't read, and we can gloss over these things and just talk about, you know, just put a proposal in without getting a feel. And what I want to build anyways is long-term holders that want to be a part of the ecosystem, that aren't just here for, you know, number go up. So we got some speakers up here. Let me check. I sent invites, so if anybody that is on my panel, just send that request. But without further ado, I'm going to read this, and it's titled Emancipate the Many from Wage Slavery, Revolt. Good morning. To those not familiar with CULT's tokenomics, the last few weeks since rocketing up 36,000% in 7 days would have looked like quite an unattractive chart. However, for those who understand our protocol, you will know that it is designed to become more efficient at lower prices in order to naturally and organically support price. This is due to lower prices increasing the amount of CULT burned, and if volume is maintained or decreased as percentage in line, more CULT is also added to the treasury. You can view the breakdown here. The weeks since our protocol was catapulted into the limelight have allowed our tokenomics, the many, and the guardians to all be tested. As with every token market cycle, you have a euphoria bringing people in all the way up due to the fear of missing out. And then you have depression and anger from those who got in after the 36,000% run, who curse you all the way down. This is normal, even with explanations on how this is in fact a benefit for long-term holders. The transfer of wealth from the inpatient to the patient is something that has gone on ever since free markets have existed. What is much more surprising, however, to those who don't understand our movement is beyond a token or price is how the core CULT community held steadfast in their commitment to follow the first rule of CULT.DAO. Even those who entered at the peak, those who cared for and understood not just the tokenomics but also the cause, had just as much passion at the bottom as they did at the peak. Our noise on Twitter barely diminished. This alone should serve as a wake-up call to crypto Twitter. I personally was in awe of the steadfastness of the many and their unwavering support of CULT. They entrusted me with their efforts because they believed in the cause and that what I built for them would provide promised financial freedom in the future, to emancipate them from wage slavery. For me, the promise of future rewards was not enough for the rewards they were already bringing to the mission of the CULT Manifesto, especially as some of the many were priced out of involvement in the cause they were fighting so hard to push. I have stated that I would not move CULT to another chain, changed a little bit, but our own chain, and that is something that I will not budge on. This spurred the idea of Revolt and the concept of Revolt to Earn. I have stated many times and in the manifesto that society is designed to make it difficult as possible to break away from economic, societal, and social norms. So what if supporting the CULT ecosystem could be in itself a full-time or part-time job? This spurred me to build a new economic model designed to allow the many to actually be rewarded financially to talk about CULT and get others to read the manifesto. As I always do, I began with one idea which became out of control and led to the eventual economic model that we are left with now. This model I will release once everything has been built on a smart contract level. This is to protect the many from the multitude of shitcoins and scammers that no doubt would rush something out attempting to copy it, which would either rug or get exploited due to them not comprehending the intricacies of what I designed. What I have somewhat stumbled upon creating is a self-governing, autonomous ecosystem that can reward those who are building and contributing on a protocol and larger scale level to the revolution through CULT.DAO, and reward those who are committing their spare time and breaking chains on an individual level by furthering the ecosystem with Revolt. Revolt functions in a similar manner to CULT, except that it rewards individuals contributing to the revolution and the CULT ecosystem rather than large-scale protocols seeking the same. CULT provides funding to revolutionaries' protocols. Revolt provides funding to the individuals revolting. The many revolting are governed by CULT manners. Who are they? Well, they are the many. All stakers in Revolt have an equal chance of becoming a CULT mander as any other staker, and in fact most of the many will at some point be a CULT mander as long as they are staking for a mid-long-term time frame. This is because 490 stakers are picked and randomly every fortnight to approve or disapprove individuals' revolutionary actions. The above system of protocol level and individual rewards systems has the potential to free all participants from the chains of society. This system may finally allow us to break away from the current monetary system and all of its restrictions on our freedom just by revolting, talking about cult, and getting people to read the cult manifesto. You are a revolutionary. Viva la revolution, Mr. O. Okay. So I'm going to start, try to get everyone up and do some introductions for our panel. And that's going to, basically, I brought up what is going to be a panel of mostly cult mentors to ask questions myself, have the audience ask questions, and you get a better understanding of how the Revolt system works regarding proposals. All right, let me just check on my co-hosts and speakers here. Invite to speak. Invite to
What's up, fam?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, XO, if you want to start, go ahead. You can introduce yourself, and we can go down the line of. Let me see here. Give a short background, and if you've been a cult member or a revolter before.
Thank you for the space, Helicat. My name is EXO. I'm part of the many. I have not yet been a cult member, nor a revolter, but I'm learning every day to see what I could contribute, opening spaces for the many to be um, part of the DAO, be able to talk about what they wish, what they would like, what they would like to see, and where we're going from where we're at right now. And I'm learning as we go. Eventually, maybe I'll participate in becoming a cult member or just putting active revolts. I'm looking into it um, every day to see what we could do, um, what could be better. Better, yeah. What could be better for the many?
Nice, man. All right, Tink, do you want to go next?
Hello, everybody. I'm Pansy Gold on Telegram. I'm a little under the weather today, so I sound like really bad, but I've been in crypto since late 2016, and I opted in to be a cult mender when they opened the opportunity up for the many. I wanted to help contribute to the process of helping people put together good proposals and weed out the bad proposals, and to educate myself about what's going around, on in the world, that one day that I can help financially or physically. So that's why I'm here, and thank you for having me. And yeah, so I've done a lot of humanitarian efforts here locally as well. So yeah, that's about it right now.
All right, thank you. I'll just go next in line. We have Citizen up here. Go ahead.
Hey, Alicat. Thank you for holding the space. Good to see you, DHCG, and everybody in the room. I've been with Colt since the beginning, and got the airdrop from Revolt, and waited for my turn to become Colt Mender when it came up, and I was able to vote and take part in the voting process. Love every piece of that. Never actually put any proposals in myself, but I did choose to be an opt mander or opt in to be a cult mander. So I do enjoy looking through the proposals each session and voting with the DAO. So yeah, thank you for the space, and always try to tell as many people as I can about Revolt everywhere I can.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. How about my other co-host, Colt Broadcast? Do you want to hear your story? Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I hope everyone's doing well. And Alicat, thanks for the opportunity. I've been in cult, I would say, for about a month now, and I was aware of Revolt but I didn't really do that much of a deep dive into it as I hadn't got there yet. And then I heard your show last week on YouTube, and that's when I thought, okay, this would be a really great thing to want to be a part of. I've also been in crypto since 2016, obviously very decentralized focused, open governance focused. And, you know, I am familiar with platforms like this that exist in other ecosystems. And I just feel like this would be such a great thing to help positively contribute to in the long run. So again, thank you, Ali Cat, and everyone else who's here today.
Yeah, man, welcome. Mad Cultish, you're up.
Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good night. It's good to see all of you again, good to talk with you all again. Thanks for having me up here. Alley Cat, I'm Mad Cultish. I've been with Cult since the beginning. I've become a Cult maxi, so I just love everything Cult related, everything, well, specifically within the Cult ecosystem. And I'm happy to be here today to talk about Revolt.
Awesome, man. Glad to have you. Hexoshi, I think a lot of people haven't heard you, so they might be surprised. Go ahead.
Hey everyone, Mr. Alicat, thank you so much for having me today. So I am Hexoshi. I've been in Cult since May of last year. I was drawn to Cult initially due to the strength of the community, which led me to read the manifesto and talk about Cult every day since. So I'm sure, like many of you, Cult has helped me like on my spiritual journey, my path of awakening. It's just been absolutely incredible. And I do have experience being a Cult mander and a revolter. So I'm excited to be here today to talk about it.
Awesome. Excited to have you. We got one more speaker, Culted. Go ahead.
Hey man, hey everyone. Just before I say it, I'm having real trouble retweeting the space out. I don't know if it's something your end, Mr. Alley Cat. I can't push this space out at all. I can't find anywhere of sharing it out there.
That's a fail, man. I don't know. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
no,
We'll work on that.
yeah. But apart from that, yeah, I got into Cult, absolutely aped in with my small bag in March last year. Got the airdrop of Cult and pretty much have been a Cult mander since. I think there's only about 2 or 3 that I haven't Cult mandered on. And yeah, it's been an interesting ride.
Awesome. Glad to have you. I probably, as a host, probably should introduce myself a little better, but it is first Twitter space. So this this is Alley Cat. I've been in Cult for a while. Definitely been in Revolt from the beginning. You know, Cult hooked me with that manifesto, and it was my first foray into the decentralized space. I was one of those guys that are only on exchanges and just getting into crypto for a couple years now, but I am a quick learner. But so I learned about Cult, got into Cult, and pretty soon after I moved pretty much everything off of one exchange into Cult, and soon after that exchange went bankrupt. So that was a quick lesson in the benefits of DeFi. So I'm a father, veteran. Like I've touched on before, not been a huge crypto guy. I've just been a person that, you know, sees the evil in the world and sees the chaos in the world and is looking for change and something better and empowerment. And that's where, again, the Cult Manifesto really spoke to me. I then gravitated more towards Revolt because it was more action-based. Proposals are constantly going on versus waiting for a guardian to submit in the Cult ecosystem. So that action part of it really spoke to me, and the ability to do actual real world things, rewarding real people. And I feel we've only touched on the surface of what can be done here if you actually read the rules of engagement, it hints at the possibilities and the options that are out there, um, where funding can go, regarding revolt, and and it's beyond the individual level about funding whole, it talks about whole hospitals or whole towns. So there's just, we've only touched the surface here. So also a revolt admin in Telegram. All right, so I think that's going to be all the speakers we're going to have up here at the moment. But we do have some giveaways today and some fun stuff. But I want to start, let me get back here. Again, the purpose of the space is just education, really, and getting cult managers who are the voters and the revolters who are submitting proposals on the same page. So there's less fighting and arguing, and really, I want to approve proposals. So I want, really, throughout this time, I've just tried to educate revolters on tips and how they can get their proposals passed, whether it's the dollar amount they're asking for, whether it's the evidence, whether it's lacking or not, just to help them do the best job that they can to get their proposal passed. And we're at the beginning, and building a base of understanding now is going to benefit us down the road when this becomes so much bigger, and where we have hundreds and hundreds of proposals every 5 days. So I want to just keep that education going on Revolt, because I don't think any person in Revolt would disagree by saying we could talk about Revolt more, and not just put a proposal in, but the actual education behind it. And like I said, with the first part I read, was getting a feel for Revolt. There's a lot of nice mediums out there that can really bring that education. Let me see. Someone requested. Maybe not. All right, so what I wanted to start with is asking the panel a couple questions and just get the conversation started. And then if you're in the audience and you feel like asking some questions too, raise your hand and start asking. So hopefully we can spur some of that. So one of the first questions I wanted to ask was, here's a good one. Between CULT and Revolt, which do you think will hit its previous all-time high first? And anyone on the panel can just talk.
To be honest, I don't even remember what Revolt's all-time high is or was.
I think it was 47. And we're at around 6.5. So
and then
go ahead.
And then what was Colts? I can't even remember. It's like I don't even.
77.
These are some of the few these are some of the few coins where it's like I don't even really look at the price that much. So.
No, true. Yeah, this was a fun one. I have my personal opinion. I think Revolt will hit its previous all-time high first, which was, I don't know, about 6x from here or something. So not that they're both not going to fly. I just see that that first potential in Revolt, especially with Polygon, ZK, EVM stuff coming out. I think there's going to be a hype for stuff on the Polygon network, and we're a lower market cap and we can get there pretty fast. And that's just a start. So I kind of envision, my thought is, by the time CULT reaches its previous all-time high, Revolt will be beyond its previous. So I just see that potential. Anybody else?
Yeah, I agree with you, Alicat. I think with the upside of Polygon right now, and we're riding that wave with Revolt, I think we're going to see a much quicker rise on the Revolt side than the CULT side, but I think they're both going to get there equally. Yes, sir.
I think that once Cult really starts to push and make a move, Revolt is just naturally going to ride that wave because of the association. I think that's how things tend to work. I come from the Kusama Polkadot system, and that's exactly how those two coins operated and moved almost in tandem with each other. So, um, you know, it's just for me a natural rise, and it will piggyback off of the call price action.
Oh, hi.
Got a lot more burning mechanisms on the cult side, um, especially with Modulus coming out and cult being the native token for Modulus. Every transaction is going to go towards burning cult. I think like there's more potential in cult, whether it be short term or long term. I think my answer is cult before Revolt, because Revolt's a payment system. People are putting in proposals, and what they're doing with their Revolt once they get paid, who knows? But I think there's more potential for the cult in the short term, personally. But you know, it when Modulus comes out, that in the short term, I mean, Revolt could do better if Modulus is going to come out in the last second of the first quarter. But if it comes out soon, I think there's more potential for Cult over Revolt, personally.
Yeah, I hear you. And I think, you know, only recently we're seeing a lot more action with Colt. And I guess it was easier to say Revolt first because with Revolt we're burning all the time. We're burning, every 5 days we're always burning, to where Colt we were waiting and waiting for proposals to come back, or waiting to approve a proposal, and we got some burn with that. But now with TRG, we're getting that continuous burn, and we're actually now finally getting some proposals coming back, which is doing additional burning. But I think Revolt was built to be more deflationary than Colt. Again, with the 25% of our treasury is automatically going to get burned with the tokenomics. And then we have additional things, of course, with Modulus releasing, and then TRG actually burning Revolt at that time. So no matter what, both of them are going to be doing a lot of burning here. So I keep missing a request. I'm sorry, I don't see everything on the phone, but
There's only going to be 1% left of Cult before you know it. That's my opinion. As for Revolt, I'm not sure about that, but it's not going to be long before we only have 1% of supply in Cult. So my bag's in Cult, but well, in both of them. But if you ask me, Cult's going to outperform Revolt. No, undoubtedly.
all right, we'll have to do a side bet on that. All right, next question. Here's one: spicy actions. If anyone knows what a spicy action is I'm talking about Revolt proposals, and let me just go to something. I think spicy actions started at the 0.75 ETH mark, and I just want to actually read that if I can find it here. There we go. All right, here's 0.75 ETH description from the rules of engagement. Anybody familiar with who has taken part in activist movements in the past will know the term spicy action as opposed to a normal action. These actions are spicy because they come with a degree of risk, which could be imprisonment, arrest, damage to property, or other impacts that further the cause but may put the revolutionary in harm's way from the current system's laws or from the current system's bodyguards. For example, the police and legal system serves to imprison activists who smash a bank window, but that same system allows up to 16,000 people to be poisoned and killed by Union Carbide without a single person ever spending time in prison. That same system didn't send a single banker to prison for the Great Recession, but instead charged an OpenSea worker for insider trading of NFTs. It is this hypocrisy which is why we need to stop playing by their rules. The double standards have gone on long enough. Now is the time for revolution and for those brave enough to get rewarded. This is Revolt to Earn. So I would love to hear other people's takes. I know early on we did have some spicy actions, and there was, people for them and gets them. So I would love to hear from you guys.
I think that's only right. I mean, people are gonna rebel against this shit, and I give my honor to the people that are willing to send that message out there to these corporations that are taking the, you know, take taking this, the piss. It's not right, and yeah, there's a lot of people sitting there on the comfy chair and making money behind doors, like probably some people in this space, but um, the ones that are gonna go out there and revolt against this shit is what I say. Um, Hands up to them, because it's those people that are sending out the message to these horrible, disgusting, money grabbing thieves. The thieves and the corrupt, and I think it deserves that reaction. To be honest, it needs people like that to crash down those doors and send a message. It's disgusting. That's
I
what
hear
I
you,
think.
man. I hear
Yeah,
you.
fucking
Uh,
disgusting.
I would say I agree with them. It's easy to kind of assume, as the market might move up, that life is just getting better. And I personally feel, and I can't comment on the market, but the world itself is only going to get a little worse here, and there's going to be more cause for revolting in that way, because it's not this easy battle, and I think we're gonna need to fight back a lot more. Anybody else have comments on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, I'm in agreement too with everything you guys have said and the statement. It's up to us to educate people, because the news, for the most part, isn't supporting us, right? I don't want to get controversial, but there's usually a narrative, and it's up to us to really dissect through all of that info to educate people with the truth.
Yeah, man, I agree. And something Mr. O said before was, because of, we're in a special spot being in CULT.DAO and being a part of, you can call it whatever, but a decentralized revolution, and understanding the world a little bit better than most, that we're gonna in turn be able to help and guide others that seek that same freedom and understand how to use it. So I think we're given a lot of power right now, and especially we're so early in this projects, if, when they do take off, and a lot of us make a lot of money from that, it's not to buy Lambos, it's to actually help others. So that's how I feel anyways. All right, so here's, talking about spicy actions. There was some things early on, and they're written in the rules of engagement, I believe. With spray painting and tagging banks, and to me, and again, it's also written in there too. We're not harming the people; we're harming a centralized entities. Where was I going to go with that? There was I seen some of that, and there's at the time, and maybe things have changed or those people have left, but there was people against that kind of stuff. And to me, doing those kinds of things and is getting on the news. and it's written, whether it's positive or negative, getting on the news is going to be a big deal for the type of project that we're in.
We need to turn this into Banksy.
Well,
We need to turn the cult representation and artwork into like this, into the Banksy shit. When did you last see Banksy on the news?
I don't even know what that is.
What? The artist Banksy, who just turns up in the middle of the night and does artwork on buildings
It's
in the
been a
middle of the
while.
night. Never heard of Banksy?
No, I'm sorry, I haven't.
Oh, I mean, he's like nobody knows who he is, but he's a world genius when it comes to art, and he's done artwork on some such famous buildings in the middle of. You never heard of Banksy?
Honestly, no. So this is a good
Okay, so,
this is
and
good going into my next question right here.
well,
And
I've
you can speak
we
on this. Hold on a sec.
okay.
Once we're on Modulus, because of the privacy abilities of Modulus, do you think Revolt proposals may change? And by change is like
That is,
that we might see more spicy actions because there's a nominality there. So go ahead.
well,
Hey,
there's a nom.
one thing I loved about what Banksy did. Sorry, JP. He put out a piece of art that was all framed up, and inside, encased within the artwork, towards the bottom, was a shredder, like a paper shredder, and it went up for auction. And at auction, as soon as it sold, the shredder engaged, and the painting went through the shredder halfway.
And uh, the painting went through the shredder. Say again.
Yeah, the painting literally shred through a paper shredder inside of the painting itself while right at the auction live.
Yeah, and I bet it still sold for millions though, right?
It had already been sold, so the owner
Yeah.
got a painting that was
Yeah,
shredded.
but I mean, he could still sell that on for millions, trust me. Banksy is, like I said, he's one in a million, like one in a billion. Nobody knows who he is, but like those paintings, and it's graffiti at the end of the day. It's downright graffiti and criminal damage, or to some people it would be considered that, but none of those paintings or artwork have been removed from the buildings. Doesn't matter what building he's done it on. Um,
In some cases, they'll
in
take
fact,
down the wall.
if he's painted on your building or spray painted on your building increases in value by 10x, easy. It's mental. So, but what I was saying before is what I haven't seen anything regarding Banksy for a long, long time. So if we could get an artist, related to cult, and like Alicat was saying, get it on the news and somehow make it so good that the news thinks it's Banksy. I mean, that is just gonna fucking take off.
Yeah, any way getting on the news is going to help us. So
It needs to be a painting and a draw. You need to look into and research um, how Banksy does his artwork, and and start revolting and doing this this late night graffiti. And I'm not talking your ordinary graffiti by spray paint a few letters. I mean real artwork. I mean, that's why he's famous, is because you go to bed one night, you wake up in the morning, and it's like a week's worth of artwork has been projected onto your building without you even noticing. That's why he's so famous. So if we can do that and somehow fool the world and fool the news into it being Banksy, this shit will just accelerate overnight. More so than you've ever seen before.
I hear you. I'm definitely going to look into Banksy. It is the first I've ever heard of it. Let me read something here. All right, so yeah, I'm going to read something out of the rules of engagement for the 0.5 ETH, and I think this can help here. Let's see. This is for taking physical action to spread the cult manifesto and to spread the message of Revolt to Earn. This could be a day or a weekend of leafleting, stickering, or other peaceful yet important action to make cult visible to people in real life as well as online, and spreading it to those who are not spending as much time online. There should be no town or city anywhere in the world where you cannot see physical evidence that the cult army is in fact in everyone's backyard. Just thought that was a nice, and the motivation. I mean, if you actually saw that, how the world can change by our physical action. If you're driving by and there's cult there, you just showing the world cult in the physical form would be one other way to spread the message.
Is there any artists in here? Like real artists in here?
Hey, quick! Before we start something else here, I want to get more people in this space. So please share it, and we'll try to get some more people in here.
I think you need to put the message tab up to be able to share it.
Alley Cat Twitter's broken right now. There's technical difficulties.
Well, that
Yeah.
kind of sucks.
Yeah, I can't do it either.
See, I don't know if there's anything
Yeah,
on
it's
my
pretty.
end. Let me see. Because I can go to share. I have options, so I don't know.
Somebody,
There's definitely issues because I'm trying to find I'm trying to follow cult broadcasts, but I can't. It's saying I've reached my limit.
See, they're trying to shut us down. They don't want us to revolt.
Elon put out an update today. Now you can post 4,000 words in a tweet instead of 280.
That's why.
Oh,
I've just
that's
managed to
actually
recreate
good.
the space, actually.
All right. I mean, the longer we make messages, the better. I just feel like they're so small right now.
But say again, Citizen Kane, what did you say?
Elon Musk put out an update today. You can post 4,000 words in a tweet instead of 280.
Ah, that's awesome. I was shut down for writing too long a tweet just yesterday, I think. That's brilliant.
All right. So I got another question here. For the cult manders, do you vote early or later? Do you try to get it done, or do you try to assess other things, or look at inspect to revolt and vote later? What are your thoughts on that?
I tend to vote later in the process myself.
Why?
I'll vote later because I like to go look at the inspect to revolt and everything, and then sometimes just go through the people's Twitter page to see if they posted anything about what they've done as far as what they say about the proposal. So, yeah.
Yeah, same. I usually vote later. I've been trying to do it a little earlier just because people have requests. They want to know more if something's bad or good, or just a little pointers. So I tend to try to post some stuff on Discord. But usually, I mean, in the past, I've always voted later because yeah, I like to see inspect to revolt, see what they got going on, and just give things time, I guess.
How did they manage to get parcels to, was it to Turkey? How did they manage to do that so early? I thought that was brilliant. But it happened so quick. Who was behind that? Did you
I
see
really
that?
don't know. Yeah, I did see, and Mr. O retweeted that. So I don't, and they were thanking the developers. So I don't know where
I
those
just
funds came
found
from or how that worked. Yeah.
I just found it very, very strange that on the packages it just said, did it say behind CULT.DAO or something like that? It didn't actually direct people to the website, which I found very strange for something that sort of quick and helpful. to so many people, why wasn't it more? You know what I mean? Why didn't it direct people to the DAO more than it did? It didn't even have the website on the packages. It had the face of the mask, and it had CULT.DAO, but it didn't direct people to the bloody site.
Well, I mean, a big mask I thought was pretty good too. I mean, it's going to get people questioning what is that? What are all these? What is this mask that's donating? And again, I don't know the history behind that and how that came about. But yeah, it did seem instant. So yeah, I don't know.
I think
Yeah,
they've
I
had
mean,
a couple of proposals up over the last few rounds. So I think they were getting anyway, not necessarily for something like that, but I think that was kind of well, it comes across to me as it was more of an instantaneous thing that they just went, shit, we can help here, and they just threw it out there quickly. I think it was was it Shelby or something like that? Was their Twitter handle? And if you look back, the last few
That's
proposals,
that's the handle. Yeah.
I think there was actually one before Shelby too. I'm not sure if it's the same one. Maybe.
I'd only seen the Shelby one, and I was wondering how that happened so fast too. But
yeah, we need to get reverse imaging on that shit.
um, actually,
I've got
that was one of the proposals that I was going to talk about later when we get to proposals.
Oh yeah, and was that even a proposal? I
No,
haven't
it wasn't.
seen
It
that.
wasn't.
no,
Um, but
not yet.
they do keep putting a proposal in every time.
Okay.
So, but
All right.
that
Well,
was the proposal.
All right. I'm going to open up the space for anybody else who wants to, since we are just talking. If anybody else had questions that they wanted to bring up, please request to be a speaker. And then after that, let's see.
Actually,
Yeah.
I
Then
have a
we're.
question, like,
All right.
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. Go ahead first.
No, go ahead. A little hard to understand you. Very deep.
Oh, sorry. We chatted this week about the threshold for the physical acts. Does the community know about that, or does the PDF need to be updated to reflect that it's now point 0.1 instead of point 0.5?
Yeah, I'm still having a little trouble understanding everything you're saying.
Yeah, you're a little muffled.
Yeah, a little muffled, very deep. It's yeah.
I'm gonna leave and come back. Maybe that'll help.
All right. Something about physical acts. I wasn't sure. I didn't get it all. Let's see here.
Yeah, I think it was saying something about the amounts that people are asking for and whether people know about it or something. I think.
Oh, and I had talked to him because he wants to put in a revolt or a proposal himself. He wants to do something. Yeah, he's probably talking about. If you guys remember, we had so many sticker acts and everything at 0.5 ETH because that is the physical action part. And then Mr. O himself said, just move them down to 0.1. So I think maybe that's what he's asking, if everybody knows about that, because it's very easy to see, and you read the revolt, the rules of engagement, and you still see 0.5 ETH there, and yeah.
Yeah, that was exactly it. Is my voice better?
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just because I know that the tiers have changed, but the Netflix says the old amount. So just so that there's no confusion with anybody else moving forward, I was wondering how you update.
Your mic, yeah, man, you were better, and then it does get a little muffly. But so we could talk about that a little bit. I think it's one of the reasons why, and I posted on the Jumbotron of simplifying the reward breakdown section. And this required, so I made a post there, and I made a post in TG also to get input from the community. I want to let this run because if we can simplify it and make something easier for onboarding revolters, it can even eventually get on our CULT.DAO Notion page of just simplifying the reward section of the rules of engagement, so people can easily understand it better. They can have immediately more ideas. They can get their own creativity started about how they can start revolting. So I think because the rules of engagement too can be wordy in those sections, and I just wanted to get more to the point so people can more easily understand what they can do to start revolting. So I don't know everyone's thoughts on that, but I want input on that. We can create that ourselves and build it.
Well,
And these rules.
Alicat, these acts of revolt, it's no good, like getting people to revolt and then voting them down. Like, we need to use that treasury. I don't know what people are afraid of using it. Like, if people are willing to do something for the community and put the effort into putting in a proposal, we should vote that up. End of. That's my opinion, so long as it's worthwhile. I
So,
mean,
JP, this is Buddy. I've been around for a while, pretty much since the beginning. I've been in CULT since last April, so almost a year now, in the beginning of Revolt. So one of the things that I've noticed is that, like, I've been a CULT manager almost every round, and one of the things that I've noticed is that when it comes to like stickering or revolting, for example, because I put up posts myself for those, and I've done it myself where I've gone out, but I've spent hours, and so I personally know like what it takes and what I expect going out and doing it. Where then I've seen people that will put up posts for stickering where I know the work that they've done and the evidence that they've shown was really took them about 25 minutes to do that, and so then are we supposed to reward all those? And it's not, I don't want to tell you, hey, don't go and do that, because I want people doing that, but it's also like, go
yeah,
out and do
no,
it.
I
You know?
understand. No, well said, honestly. I think I've spoken a little bit too fast there. You are right. We can't just waste the treasury like that.
Yeah,
But
and
like at the
that's
same time, you need to sort of consider, I don't know, that like there's a big sort of like difference between somebody who's doing absolutely like some things will be false and some things will be just slightly worthwhile. So I
And
guess, yeah,
also,
you well said there. I think,
I think it's also too, it's like, I mean, what I like to see is people in the community, people who are active in the CULT and Revolt community. And I want to reward those people that are out there talking and spreading the word all the time. And it's, if you're some rando who came by and I've never seen you before, and like I seen that you just created a Twitter page like a month ago, and I've never seen you in the community before, and you went and you put up a couple stickers somewhere, like, I'm not going to approve it. You know what I mean? Even though
yeah,
but I don't want to. I don't want to stop you from doing it. I want you to become part of the community first, and develop some sort of
all right. Can I cut in there?
I just don't want this to turn into like whoever whoever is better on the computer um gets rewarded more, because I think there's some people that have I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I think it's important for, it's like real life, isn't it? If you don't present the evidence, then you get nowhere. But I think some people, like,
but it's also, I mean, present
do
more
stuff
evidence.
but
You
don't.
know,
Yeah,
it's the more the better. And it's like, and I'll give an example how I feel, and I don't know
it's
if
true.
this is,
Yeah, it's only right that, yeah, you
but
are
this,
correct.
and it's like, I mean, even for like the food proposals, I mean, it's awesome. Those are the types of acts I love to see,
Mhm.
giving people blankets and clothing, shelter. I love that stuff, but I want to see evidence. I don't want, like, not for nothing, you know, like I can go and I can grab a couple loaves of bread, throw some peanut butter and jelly on them, put them in some nice bags, hand them out down to the daycare down the road and say, hey, you know, I just did this and give me 0.25, give me 0.5. I want to, and maybe I'm being a little too tough or whatever, but I want to see your receipts. What did you spend on the food?
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
All right,
Yeah.
so
I
this is really
spoke too
good.
fast, and
Um,
I'm really, really glad you stepped in there and said that, brother.
all right, so this is
Because
why we're
if
here.
you not got the evidence, then you fuck, like, what's the
Right.
point? Yeah,
You know,
it
I
would
want to
all be a
prove things
waste.
too. 100%. I want to prove lots of things, but that's why it's if you just break it down to the evidence, and this is why education is important. This is why we're here too. You know, to educate the revolters on what's needed. No, you need a little bit more evidence. You need some receipts. And hold on a sec. All right. And so I'm gonna let's let's move this into going since we're already talking about proposals. I asked people on our panel to maybe talk about one or two proposals they like or don't like. I'll start, and one of them I'm going to start with my own, and it's not to toot my own horn, but just about the evidence part of it. So, you know, I also started in Revolt from the very beginning. I'm talking about Act 23. This was one of the very first proposals ever passed, and I absorbed what was required in the beginning, which was evidence. You know, really, you know, show what you did, prove that you did. You can even talk about why you need the money. But I gave receipts that I had to pay for the sections that I reserved there. I gave screenshots of the event itself, like a brochure of it. I took tons of pictures, videos, and then even after all that, then I I blasted it all over Twitter. You know, I've been asking people in the community now to do that, but and they have, which is awesome. But that's we should be doing that. Share it. Sell yourself, sell your proposal, and definitely provide as much evidence as you possibly can. I don't think, and that's where the communication part, where JP you were saying if they're not, you know, people aren't as good as on computer kind of stuff, but just that's why we need to educate them. We need this kind of evidence. You need to show a little bit more.
It's
Just
not just that,
if they
brother.
do that, you know, yeah.
It's not just that, it's the time. You know what I mean? I've been at work for 12 hours today, and it's like I can't interact with you guys whilst I'm at work because I'm not sat on a computer. So it's that as well. You know, I do what I can when I can, but to be able to interact and post tweets all day long, it's just impossible. You know, so you got to consider that as well. I mean, you can't just um get sucked in by the people that are sat on a computer all day. You can't let those people win the people that, go all out there to use every spare hour that they've got outside of working 12 hours a day off a computer to,
Yeah.
to do what they can for this space, you know?
All right, all I think is they just need to show that. I've seen some evidence in some, and then the description itself isn't really doesn't explain enough. It could be saying, "Hey, I spent this many hours. I spent this much to do this." But a lot of times that description is vague too, and those details aren't there, and I don't understand why. Again, the more details they can just explain what they actually did. I had someone reach out from a proposal that recently got declined, and they didn't quite understand, and they even said, "Hey, I did this and I donated my previous funds here." And I just said, well, you didn't even say any of that. You didn't explain any of that. So you just got to get your point across and sell that proposal.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll hold my hands up here. I am one of those guys, and I was explaining myself there. So you are right. That's what people need to do, and I will do that. But I need to find that time, and it is hard. But I'll keep on doing what I do, and hopefully one day I'll have the time to put in a worthy proposal, and what's important is gathering the evidence, like you said, in the meantime. And until you've got that evidence, there's no point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no point. We can, and that's, I made a post before about taking the person out of it and just looking at the evidence, because we're capable of accepting 1,000 proposals a period, and you we you can't focus on, do you know this person always. It helps if you do know, but you're not going to know. And as we grow into thousands and thousands of more members, you're not going to know personally everyone. That's why let the evidence speak.
JP, you might also want to just put a nice tweet together with everything that you want and maybe pin it to the top of your page. Then you would only have to do it once.
Yeah. I read a tweet the other day saying about like, and I read this like a long time ago as well. I'm gonna focus on. I don't know how people like Citizen Kane do as many posts as you do per day, but I've got, a lot of sort of passionate things to say, and I think I'm gonna aim on saying just one thing a day. Um, and
One
that's as
thing a
much
day
as I
is
can.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's other
And
though too, like you'll see me. I never post anything on. I mean, I do a bunch of retweeting and stuff like that, but I'm barely posting on Twitter. I'm more active in Discord myself. But
It's just me. I'm just so busy. I mean, what is that your reason? I mean, for me, it's just like if go on my phone, I get distressed because I'm busy with other things and I'm not like online as
yeah, I work
with
two
my work.
jobs out of
Yeah.
this, and so and it's like plus I got fat fingers, and then Twitter doesn't have any edit button, so I can't edit stuff there. So I don't make a lot of sense. And
Well,
but
there's a start. So why don't you and me do exactly that and aim towards just
uh,
making one creative tweet about Cult and Revolt per day?
because I'm so
And
active in Discord, bro. I could
yeah, but I mean, like,
And
take
by the
some of
way,
the
we
stuff
need
that you've done on
I'm
Discord and put it
by
into Twitter.
by the way,
So
we do
once
need
per day, by the time you know it, a month's gone by and you've made 30 tweets. And those tweets are unique to yourself. Everybody's important. So like one per day, it equals to like 30 months. So I'm gonna do that anyways. So
so yeah, you do that. But let's talk about. I want to talk about proposals here. Does anyone? I want to get a sense. I got a question for some cult managers and stuff.
Shoot.
There's this one proposal I've seen similar in the past, and I hate them. And it's somebody, I don't know if it's the same person, keeps on going on. He puts up a proposal. Anyone else seen it? Where it's the one doing like Google ads, that they want to do Google ads and want to get approved to put up some Google ads, and they take a screenshot of what's really easy. I can create it because I do a lot of Google AdWords stuff. I can create a campaign in my AdWords account for Cole or Revolt or whatever. I can take some screenshots in there, never run the campaign, and then say I funded it. But there's these people, they don't show any evidence of anything, but
uh,
they're getting approved, and people are approving them. And I want to know who's approving them, because I'm
Okay.
seeing I'm trying to send them requests on Twitter and stuff, and ask them to see some analytics. They don't respond to me ever. So, but I see they get a lot of approvals.
All right, let me get in here. Yeah, we did talk about that one specifically in the last Telegram VC, and it just boiled down to the evidence. Like you said, they're just screenshots. There's no analytics. So I don't personally know who's approving it. I think we're on the route of getting a little better at this. But yeah, I feel you. That that proposal doesn't make any sense because the evidence is not there.
But there's a couple of like that, and that just goes on to the thing of showing evidence, because I don't think that that's a horrible idea. But then, in instances like that, if you want to get rewarded, it's put up the money yourself first. You know what I mean? Fund the campaign, build the AdWords account, fund the campaign, show us the receipts, show us the analytics, and then get paid. Because it's not
Yeah,
a hard idea, but it's, do the work first.
exactly. I spent more money on poker than that guy probably did on those things. I read that too, and I looked at it and wondered what it was. I'm glad you brought that up. So is that a load of nonsense, or has it helped?
Without
What's that about?
analytics, we don't know anything.
The
We
guy had
don't know. Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah,
I
but
sent you messages.
yeah. So have you looked at the Google handle and
Well, he
see?
said that he's done it in different countries. He's saying that he's running the ads in different countries. I'm in the U.S., so they were supposedly ran in countries that I'm not in,
But it was passed.
according to the proposal. Yeah.
All right. So I'll add.
Interesting.
It's not when these quote bad proposals getting submitted. It's not just that it removes some funds from the treasury, but that was my other point where it lowers the bar for future proposals. People will gravitate towards the easiest thing. I got a request. They'll gravitate to the easiest thing that is getting approved, and so when you approve these kind of low bar ones, it doesn't help. It doesn't motivate others, and it actually hurts people that are putting in the work and time in good proposals, because they're going to think, why am I doing this extra effort that these guys are not? So when you see questionable things, and if you don't want to see those things repeat, just vote it down. It will change. Those people will be forced to change. Peasant Man, I saw you came up. Did you have something to add?
Hey everyone, how we doing? No, yeah, it looks like it was all covered there. I was basically gonna say the same thing. I mean, there has to be a process of just looking into some of these things. We can't just accept them all blindly and run through the treasury. I mean, there has to be some type of process, and the more that we get together and do these little meetings, the better. Um, and yeah, so everything was said. I just wanted to reiterate that.
I was just making sure. Yeah, that's one of the things that I want to repeat, no matter what, every time, is the proposal talk. That's Revolt's bread and butter, and that's how we survive or fail. So building that relationship between cult mentors and revolters is what we need to work on.
I also did want to mention too. There's great tool too that you all set up in Discord, where we could talk about the active proposals there. So if you don't want to, come onto a Twitter space, you can go to the Twitter or the Discord channel there and just talk about some of the proposals that are implemented there. It's a great way to talk about them and kind of vet through them.
Yeah, I agree. Before I submitted my very first one, that's where I went, and I think I was told at that time that the amount I was requesting was too much, so I lowered it and I submitted it. It's if you're, as a revolter, if your goal is to get your proposal passed, like I said, sell yourself, but you're gonna start by asking the questions, understanding it a little bit better to know what's gonna help you get it passed.
Yeah, I like what you said too about selling yourself. I take this seriously, and I think it's obviously revolutionary. And in order to continue this process, you have to, um, show some value here. So the more transparency that you show into your revolt proposal, the better. And like that's all that we're all asking for, right? Is just more transparency into what we're approving. We want to approve everyone, yeah, but you have to show some evidence. And I don't know. I personally treat it like I think of it as like a business. Like I'm not gonna just show up to work and expect to get paid, right? I need to show up and do things and show my value and show that to my team, And that's kind of how I'm treating it. So.
Well said. Well said.
There's definitely been people are definitely stepping up with the evidence over the last sort of couple of cycles. I think with what was going on, I think people are actually listening and starting to make sure their proposals go through. Definitely one or two people have, and it's just so nice because you literally can just click on it now, look at the evidence, and go, yeah, sweet, pass it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the better the evidence, the faster approving it or disapproving it can go. And like we're gonna have a lot of these, so we just need to, as cult mentors, be able to move through them. So if that evidence is lacking, it doesn't help by approving those. It only hurts. So if you want change, you got to vote them down.
Do we has anyone else noticed that last cycle there was like only it was like between sort of 76 and 80 votes per sort of per proposal compared to like, I mean, this one's already at like, or the last one was at 132, 133. The one before that, like three back, was about 140 people voting, but for some reason last cycle it was only about 77 people voting.
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, it just means people dropped out of being cult mentor, or whether they knew they did or not. Unstaking
Yeah.
any amount can do that. But who knows? Maybe
It just seems a very large drop in
Right,
comparison
right.
to like
But
a lot of voting.
we did have that one proposal that ran through as kind of a test proposal, and just
Yeah.
to kind of see. And I didn't make it. I think Wastelander did, but it kind of just shows that there are bad actors in the space. So maybe some of them left. I don't know.
Yeah, and it just said, well, again, I mean, that literally as soon as the proposals hit this time round, instantly there was sort of 20, 30 votes on most of them. And I kind of wanted to vote early just to see what had been voted at that point. I didn't because again, I was like, oh, no, because I like leaving mine till last. But I think if I see it again, I will maybe jump in there and do it and take a couple of screenshots just so you can see sort of how many people are just jumping in there and voting.
Yeah, what I've kind of seen the pattern is, quote unquote bad actors, they're voting very, very, very fast. So that you see what you kind of expect to come out of the voting more later on. Maybe it's people that take a little more time to think about it or assess or like look at revolt or inspect your revolt first. But I just feel initially it might be the bad actors that are voting immediately.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. It's
And
Did anyone else have a proposal that they want to talk about, whether good or bad or anything?
I don't want to have a discussion about proposal, but I've just come up with an idea of instead of me and my ideas, I don't know what I don't want to.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I think instead of having like this, I think it's good that you're doing these spaces, but I think like I think we should do spaces like an ideas space, but it should be encrypted.
What do you?
So
All right, say that
like,
again. What do you mean by encrypted?
well, we should have an ideas space which only involves so many people, honest people, not these
Multiple being
fake people.
perceptive.
All right, now are these
And
what
we should
are you talking about?
collaborate with
Ideas on
integrate that.
proposals or
No,
what?
no, no.
Okay.
On future
Execution ideas.
proposals.
That's a
So
really good idea.
so we have honest people, we delete all of the bots and all of the dishonest people and all of the people who just make up spaces for fun, take the piss out of people for fun. We should have a space, you know, just dedicated to coming up with new ideas, and we should integrate that with the cult manders, and have a space dedicated to future ideas, and we should all collaborate together.
When you say
And
space,
make
do
it
you mean
better.
on Twitter or just
Well,
a space on?
no,
Because I think it should be off Twitter if you're going to do something like that, to be honest.
yeah, me too. It needs to be encrypted and
On like
totally.
Signal or something.
I
Yeah,
like the idea. I know when I initially started these, and it's kind of where people wanted to get. They wanted to have the good people talk about stuff, but it's hard to do. So making some of those more private groups of just having like-minded people that have the same kind of ideas and vision, it's a good idea to be able to brainstorm. I mean, we're going to be doing that here also, but I hear you.
no, I think, yeah, I think we need to dedicate the space to that though. We need to make a title, and actually focus on the future, the future proposals, um, and actually come up with some creative ideas and bounce back and forward, and actually put in a a sort of a group proposal, if you will. Um, we're talking together. If we come up with an idea that we all agree on, um, you know, put in that proposal and help each other to get that passed. And ideas work better with three heads than it does with one, is all I'm saying. And if we can sort of talk with the cult manders as well as the creators and I the people that come up with the ideas, then I think that'd be a good space to come up with, even if it is just the space. But I think we can make it more than that, if you know what I mean.
What's the criteria or what's the vetting process to be a part of the space? And how do you keep the malicious or the shady ones out of it in the long run?
Yeah, good question.
Good question. I would, I guess, start by seeing what we can do in the space itself. I mean, talking about ideas. I mean, we can do some of that now.
Yeah, I think after so long you get to, well, you get to hope that you know people.
Right.
I know who, like, I'm only just starting to know who I can trust on Twitter, but like, I mean, in this space, some people probably not. I don't know everybody on the space. I don't know barely anybody on this space. So, I mean, if you share that out between yourselves, I know who I can trust on this space, and I know who I
Oh,
can't.
I hear you.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure
that
that
would.
you know who you can trust. And so if you sort of mix that together and invite people as a collective vote, or maybe vote, or I don't know, it's
I
possible.
I think you would need an anonymous message board to pull off something like that safely, where every member that's a part of it doesn't necessarily have their identity linked
Ah, I
to
see.
their Twitter
I see.
account. Because if I was going to do something that was a spicy action or above, I'm not sure that I would let it be known here or with my associated ethos. With.
Now that's true because I've thought about that too, and there is some stuff I want to do. But yeah, you got to
Well,
think
that's
about that,
identified.
and that's
See,
where
you
I,
don't speaking about it.
Ah.
We're already halfway there. Come on.
We'll like I said, we'll see what modules can bring with the privacy ability, and maybe we'll have some more options there. But yeah, we're posting, submitting proposals and putting our Twitter handle. That's not going to help when we're doing more spicy acts.
Spicy.
So
We
spicy.
need to be the Banksy. We need to get on the news, and
Hey,
to do
I'm
that, we need to
I'm
pretend
I'm
to
glad
be
we had this
Banksy.
talk. I'm
Yeah,
glad to hear, some of the questions I asked was, it can assess the group, and it is nice to hear that more people are for this kind of action. Hey, Hexosi, you had your hand up earlier. Did you have something to add?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the act of revolt number 66. So this was the CULT.DAO meets the Bitcoin bull. I'm sure everybody remembers this. Speaking about
Yes.
spicy acts. So, I mean, I thought it was awesome. Obviously, some disagreed, but the beautiful thing about it was that it drew attention to cult. And it was a nonviolent act, and it got everybody talking. And these are the kind of actions that I personally do hope to see more in the future. And I think that Modulus is definitely going to help with that, because I'm sure there are many of us that want to do something spicier, but as we were just speaking about, we don't want to be out in the spotlight like that, for these types of acts. I mean, look what happened to M.
Yeah,
We know what happened to M. He
it
lost
was,
his job. He was in jail.
and the community hated on him too,
I
which is
know. It was
tough. It
sad.
was like I understand where a lot of people were coming from, where it was, why do it to the Bitcoin bull? We
Hmm.
Bitcoin or Bitcoin, like,
But it's
oh,
not about that,
it's like
right?
exactly right.
It was about sending a message.
It was sending them a message. That was it. It was doing something spicy, you know,
Hmm.
and it was like, okay, could it have possibly been something different? Whatever, right? Who cares? It was the point that he did it, but then I think that the way that the community came down on him so hard was wrong. The way that
I completely agree. And I do think that things would probably be different now.
and I think that we need to be cautious of that, though. When it comes to these other,
Mhm.
well, we need to express it. We can't just come with the hate. It's got to
Mm-mm.
be a loving way somehow. Because
Especially because Mr. O talks about it in the Revolt rulebook. Like, he talks about spicy actions. He talks about this exactly. So for people to come down and judge, that's not what this is. And you should just reread that. And we can just, tell them to go back to that. Go back to what Mr. O said. We
yeah,
have this guideline, right?
yeah, and I'm with you on that. I understand where some people came from and about maybe not liking it in particular,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely think that was something. It was a good precedent to set.
100%.
Yeah, no matter what, whether you read where it happened, I remember when it happened, and it just sent to me it sent ripples throughout the whole community. So yeah, I am for spicy actions. I think if we could just bring them more towards and against centralized entities would be the best way.
Yes. And I think that's why people were upset. So it was understandable. I mean, you can always understand where everybody's coming from, right? That's the point of CULT.DAO, is that we're all so different. So we're going to have our difference of opinions always. But coming back together after the fact is what's important, and just, spreading the message. So I definitely hope to see more like this, but like you said, towards centralized entities for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we should change. I think people, I know at the time there's people against it and they left, and that's fine. Then this is not really for them, and I don't think we need to cater that way. We were given a lot in the rules of engagement, and yeah, spicy action. I mean, this this is a war here, so doing everything we can. And like I touched on earlier in space, is that we're going to see a lot bad before we see better, and these centralized entities are not going to go down easy. So it's going to take as much as we can throw at them.
I like the spicy actions, but I think that when they're performed, there has to be, the person really needs to be able to justify why they did it. There needs to be a reason behind it, not just going around just doing stuff to get a proposal passed. There needs to be a whole story behind it, in my opinion.
Sure, but like the rules of engagement say, whether it's a positive or negative action, get on the news. So it would have been even better, I think. I don't remember that ever getting on the news per se. So if you can do something to get on the news, it's gonna be beneficial.
I'm gonna make that happen.
All right, I'm
I have
excited.
an idea, but I
Well, you
can't
just
say it on the
see,
public
you just
space these
admitted.
days.
No,
Yeah, right. You just told us.
I'm gonna do my best. I'll do my best, but I need an artist. I'm not no Banksy. I need We need an artist to do that. That is what's going to make it go on the news. I can't think of any other idea that'll make that happen. I
Let's
can't.
Well,
go.
We
I
need to
would
find an
let's.
artist and pretend to be Banksy. Go to a building in the middle of the night that is in a centralized area, in the middle of London, maybe in my city, and do it. And trust me, it'll be on the news. But you need to be creative, and we need an artist to do it. That's what's going
I
to make it
Why,
get on the news.
why not just go
It
put
will
I
get on the news.
the mask with the teardrops? That's a statement enough, don't you think?
Yeah, with the
yeah.
teardrops, that's a good art, illustration of that. But we need the news presenter to get on the news and say, "Oh, what's this CULT.DAO.io? This a Banksy?" We need them to say the words.
I
So
I
yeah,
hear
put the
you, but
teardrops in there, but make sure the words are in the art. It's
I
so important.
so I hear you. But I think whether you're an artist or not, getting the words out there, getting some tagging a bank like nuts, it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be beautiful
no,
work to get
no,
on the
no,
news.
yeah, it does because you need to pretend to be Banksy. It needs to be that's what's going to get on the news. The news are going to present a new Banksy painting on another building. It needs to be, they need to believe that it's Banksy that has done it. That's what I'm saying. Of course, it needs to be astonishing. It needs to be amazing artwork, and it needs to be it needs to be done overnight in quick succession. It needs to be done quickly, and it needs to be fantastic. Other than that, it's not going to get on the news. It's just going to be another piece of graffiti. It needs to be phenomenal. It needs to be done by an artist, a true artist, and I think maybe even a few. To make that happen overnight and get on the news, we need a few artists to collaborate and do it. That's what's going
Go
to get on the news.
go ahead, citizen.
So the most of the media outlets out there, they like spicy actions, but they also like money. And if we put together a press release, we can get on the news ourselves just by putting out a press release. And I don't know how much that costs, but if we have a good writer, it's just as good as a good artist. And if we can curate a carefully scripted article and push it out through a press release, we may be able to hit multiple news outlets and go pick a weekend where something major is going on and touch on that subject and release a press article at that moment about Revolt to Earn. I don't know if we can come together as a community and maybe form a committee for that, but that seems to be a good way to get on the news.
That's a good idea, Citizen Kane, but I don't think it'd work in England. Like I've seen the American news and I've seen the English news, and the English news is just so lame, and unexciting compared to the American news. In England, it's like you can't just pay for that. I mean, you can pay for things to go into the newspaper, but not on the television news.
Just
Um,
we have to infiltrate the right outlets. There's got to be outlets within your communities that you could bring to us that we could post in.
ah,
I'll be
yeah,
excited to see anyone here proven
yeah.
wrong on that. Let's get on the news any way we can. Let's see what's possible.
So are you saying, Citizen Kane, if I was to make that happen in England, um, even, even if it wasn't considered as a Banksy, American news would post it if I um got enough people together to put in a what's it? What did you say?
A press
A
release.
a press release.
And usually these news outlets are all syndicated, so they're all connected. Most of the news outlets are all the same company. And when you put out a press release, it syndicates and gets shot out to hundreds of thousands of blogs and links and all over the internet. So it just depends on who you talk to and who you hook up with.
No, very interesting. Very interesting.
So there's another idea. Good stuff. Thanks, Citizen Kane.
So let's see here. I did expect more people in the group before we started our giveaway here, but we can see. I don't know if it's going to work quite the way I wanted it to. But we can give it a shot. If anybody wants to share the space, that would help too. So with that said, my idea for this giveaway was a trivia contest, and I wanted to bring 5 people up who felt they knew some Revolt trivia, and the last person standing gets 1 billion Revolt. I think we have multiple co-hosts, so we should be able to bring up people. So anyone in the audience now that wants to play this game with us and a chance to win 1 billion Revolt, just raise your hand. Ha. I mean, we might end up playing with our speakers. That's fine too. Anybody else want to just give it a shot? I mean, it's not going to hurt to try. So I'm going to rate JP is going to play. We got some couple requests here. Let me check. Lakota 4ACO.
Well, Mr. Alicat, as much as I'd love to play, I've got to step out for dinner.
All right, yeah.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for joining us, man.
Thank you.
And we got 4ACO. All right, we got 3. Anybody else want to? We got another request. Journey, all right. You could speak, Lakota, if you had something to say. Or are you just going to keep your hand raised for the game?
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
All right, no, that works. Hey, man. Yeah, let's see. So I got 4 so far. Let's see, Journey. This will be funner. I mean, the more people that feel they know some Revolt knowledge. And we can go with 4 if we don't have another. Because I wrote a lot of questions here, and that took some time. Let's see, we'll give it a little bit more. Anybody else want to play? I was going to do 5 people total here. Taryn, you've submitted a couple proposals. Do you think you have any Revolt knowledge? See if she wants to step up. All right. All right, I guess we're going to get this started. This is going to be for 1 billion Revolt giveaway. Revolt trivia, we got another request. Hey, Taryn's going to come up. Might as well give it a shot. 0 open slots.
Oh, let me step down.
All right.
I can step down.
Exo is gonna, here we go. Okay. We'll wait for Taryn to join, and hey, nervous is fine. I'm nervous too. So, I mean, it's not gonna hurt to try, right?
That's true. That's true.
Welcome though. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet all of you too.
All right, why don't you just, if you can figure out, raise your hand, and then whoever's playing the game can just keep their hand raised. It makes it easier. Journey? Journey and Taryn, just raise your hand there. All right, perfect. All right, everybody ready? So how we're going to do this is each person is going to get a different question asked to them. I don't think it would work any other way. I I broke these up to easy, medium, and hard questions. If we do get to the end and I don't have any questions left, and there's still multiple people, I do have some question options that will automatically give a winner. So, all right. Without further ado, let's start with. I'm just going to go through the list how I see them. Lokoto. What is the full name? So we know Revolt is the ticker. What is the full name of Revolt? What is the real name?
You mean what's the name of the protocol?
Say that again?
You mean
Yeah,
what's the name of the protocol?
Yes.
Revolt To Earn.
There you go. All right. Journey. What is the transaction tax on Revolt?
0.4.
Correct. All right. Taryn, where does the transaction tax go?
It goes to the treasury.
After the stage of checking, cleaning, and computer functioning accelerating will start.
The treasury.
Stage takes us
Hey, Colted, can you mute yourself there? I think that was Colted. No, you're correct. You're correct. Treasury. Haha. 4ACO. How many tokens are in the CULT.DAO ecosystem?
Are you talking about CULT.DAO?
CULT.DAO ecosystem. How many tokens total?
6,666,666,666.
All right, I'm gonna reword this question. Again, in the CULT.DAO ecosystem, how many tokens are in that system?
Okay, my bad. That would be 3.
All right. Good. We could go do letters, but that's what I was looking for. 3. So let me see. Was JP? Are you playing? Couldn't remember here. Yeah, it was JP. Okay, cool. JP. What is the percent reward for being a cult mender? JP?
Give him a sec. He's looking it up. Give him a sec.
I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. And this is tough. Like, I know a lot of this.
That's a tough one, though. These guys had it easier, though, Alley Cat. That should have been.
See, here's what I was going to say with that. It was tough to categorize these. And I mean, I think it's easy. Just to keep you in this game, JP, in this first round, I'll ask you a different question. How about? Here we go. What is staked revolt called? If you don't know that, then you're going to be out this first round. Staked revolt.
You there, JP?
I don't know if he's here.
I'm not sure either.
He may not be here.
Yeah, Twitter Spaces is kicking me out.
Oh, there it is.
My mic was off. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh. All right.
Oh, so you have to answer the first question now, JP.
What you got?
I didn't hear the first question.
All right, then we'll go with the first question.
No, go with the second question. I'm scared.
You heard the first one. He was just kidding.
All right. Well, first one. What is staked revolt called?
URVLT.
You're correct. All right. Round 2. Everyone passed. Raise your hands again. Everyone playing. Lokoto. I'm going to say, as I run out of easy questions, we're just going to go to harder and harder. It's just the way it's going to go. Here we go. How many days do cult manders have to vote?
2 days.
Hold on. Dang, what happened here? I had something for this. 3 days to vote, Lakota. 3 days. Sorry, man. All right, Lakota's out. Let's Journey. Let's see. All right, we'll ask you this question before. What is the percent reward for being a cult mander and voting?
Damn, bud. 0.25. I'm guessing here. I forgot him.
No, the answer would be 5%.
Oh,
I said 5%. My mic was off.
thanks, man.
All right, sorry.
Good on you, Alley Cat.
Oh, you didn't hear that
What's up, everybody? What's up?
Well,
Cheers.
stick around. We got sneaky tricks, but thanks for playing.
No, thank you, brother.
You can't answer the question unless it's your question. You just can't just blurt it out.
Yeah. So let's go. Okay, now we're at Taryn. What what network is Revolt on?
On Polygon.
That is correct.
Yay.
Yay!
Okay. 4 ACO. See if I got another easy one here. Okay. How many days does a revolter have to submit a proposal?
I'm gonna say 10 days.
Oh man!
Yo, 10 days.
Oh man! Yeah, I'm sorry. The answer is 2 days. So if anyone doesn't know, the total cycle time is 5 days, which is 2 days to submit a proposal and 3 days for the cult manders to vote. So in Revolt, every 5 days, staking rewards are coming in. So it's pretty neat that way. All right.
And then once, can I butt in here with a question, Alley Cat? Because with that, right, don't you get, when you vote too, you get, if you're a cult mander, you're going to get more rewards.
Well,
than not.
That's where the other question was 5%. You get 5% more rewards by being a cult mander and voting.
But you got to vote as well, right?
Yes.
Like you can't just.
Correct. Vote. Good point. Yeah, you can be a cult mander and you will not receive those rewards unless you're an active voter and actually voted. Yep. That's important for sure. All right, who do we got still in the game? These were the easy questions.
JP and Taryn.
All right, raise your hands again. We got Taryn and who?
JP.
JP's gone.
No, he's there.
No,
JP's still here.
He's a listener.
Oh, but he needs to come back up.
I see him as a speaker, yeah?
No, I saw him as a listener. I invited him up. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Or did I thought he got his right. Well, man, these were the easy ones. And I came up with so many questions just in case, but we might not even get to these hard ones. We probably won't at all. All right, JP and Taryn, last two for 1 billion Revolt. We're gonna start with Taryn. Let me look here. Okay. All right. When a proposal is approved, what is the percentage that actually goes, or yeah, when a proposal is approved, how much goes to the stakers percentage-wise?
25% go to the revolt stakers.
Correct.
Woo!
All right. All right. JP, let's give you a really hard one. Just kidding. Let's see here. Here we go. How long does a keyword last before a new keyword is chosen?
I should have joined.
What's that?
I should have joined the contest.
You should have.
AP, you got your mic off again.
Yeah, if you are, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, is it 3 days?
That is incorrect. 3 days.
5 days.
All right, no, that's also incorrect. So the correct answer is 15 days. So when a when a keyword is chosen, it lasts for 3 cycles, which is 3 5-day cycles, and then a new keyword is chosen. And for anyone that out here that doesn't understand keywords, they're to make sure that a proposal is current. By including the keyword in your proposal evidence, it can help that no one can copy and steal your work, and that it's more current. Yeah, so Taryn, you are the winner. So if you wanted to DM me your address, I'm gonna send you 1 billion revolt. And
Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. I didn't have an applause. I tried to look up this stuff right before I started. I don't know if I have anything.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I don't have if it had anything
Okay.
cool.
I'm glad I won. I was so nervous. I was biting my nails and everything.
No, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. So this is gonna be this is part of my sneaky tricks. Tin, are you ready?
I am. I'm very ready.
Okay, so this part I tasked my co-host to pick that someone who's still in the group, a random person to also receive 1 billion revolt. So if you want to announce that name, go ahead.
We are going to go with Harry B.
Harry B, you are a winner of 1 billion revolt also. Man, I wish I had an applause here. Let's see what this does. Let's see what this does. Hey, there's something. All right, so no one else DM me. You're not going to get it, but if those two mention want to DM me an address, I will send you 1 billion revolt. Now, for this first space, I also wanted to do something. I've been asked to record this space for people in different time zones that can't listen to it. And it's going to not only be recorded here, but Cult Broadcast is going to upload it onto YouTube. So I don't know when that will be if you want to chime in. But so this giveaway was going to be for tomorrow, and the specifics are going to be a mystery. So please check out what that upload tomorrow, and I'll post about it. And this just gives people a chance
I should be able to have it done.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
I should be able to have it done by tonight or maybe at noon tomorrow by the latest.
Yeah. All right. You send that to me, and I'll make a post about it, and I'm not gonna say how you win that at this time. So it'll be a mystery. So go check out that when that does get uploaded. Anybody who's listening now later, check that out for sure. Now I think, let's see. Yeah, that's what I had, guys, for the space today. We've been talking a long time, but if anybody else, keep talking or want to talk about anything or bring up any other questions, I'm down. Well, I hope everyone did have some fun today, and I do plan on doing this every Wednesday, and I'll just reiterate why. We're trying to build a base of understanding for the whole CULT.DAO community going forward as we grow, and more specifically to educate cult manders and revolters on how to apply the rules of engagement to a proposal. So that's we'll throw around different ideas every time, but what I wanted to repeat no matter what was proposal talk. And just because we have to. Not everyone is going to be happy or likes it, but we're so early. We're in the beginning of something that can be astronomical in size. So we talked about every 5 days proposals can be submitted, but up to 1,000 proposals can be submitted during that time. It can get really crazy and chaotic if we don't organize something now. So I also want, if anyone had any input, other ideas, to see the post I had about simplifying the rules of engagement, and it's just going to help to give other people direction on what they can immediately start doing to revolt and start earning a second wage here. I mean, it's one of the reasons, other than you can kind of describe revolt two ways. I mean, you can say the primary reason that we're funding people talking about CULT, but that this can actually be a second wage, a second income, or a primary income for some people. We're built to be more deflationary than CULT. I know TRG is changing that, but we're also going to have TRG once Modulus releases. So this can be something huge. And I think a lot of people haven't seen and understand quite what Revolt can do. And I've been there firsthand on our run up, and it's not just the price increase and the market cap increase. It was the staking rewards. They're absolutely insane when we're approving proposals, and I'll give you an example. At our highest run up, and again, I'm not talking about just price, but we were approving. We had 80 to 100 proposals going through, and of course, proportionally upon how much Revolt you have staked. But I was at that point, I was making about $300 a month just staking. There's other people I knew that were making over $1,000 a month just staking rewards. Terrence said something. All right. And that is still at only about 10% efficiency of what we can approve every 5 days. So the amount of staking rewards here are astronomical to be building a second income. There's so much power in Revolt that people don't know. And so I really want to create these spaces to educate beyond anything. So what I did, because I saw that when we came back down, I mean, I don't even know, I quadrupled my bag or even more, because I know I've seen what its potential, and I've only seen the 10% of its potential. So this can be absolutely game changing to produce a second wage. So I really want to help reiterate that and just keep educating the community on what Revolt can do. I did three spaces in Telegram. This is the fourth being actually, and the first being actually on Twitter. And just seeing the feedback from that makes me want to keep doing it. I've been a Revolt admin and for a while in TG, and seeing, not knowing how many people that were actually taking this serious and actually understood it. So it was great to see the feedback and to know so many in the community are still on board here and do understand where we can go and want to help. So I just hope everyone can educate more themselves also.
And we can't stress enough to add as much evidence as you possibly can to get your proposals going through, because when we start getting thousands of proposals, it's going to be really tight. You're going to have to step your game up.
Yep, 100%. That's why, yeah, we got to educate. It's going to get crazy. Did anyone else have anything to add? Do you like the space? You want to see more of it? Because I like it.
I like it too. Thank everybody for taking the time to come. We've been on here for 2 hours.
Yeah, no, but we've had, it was good to hear that discussion, for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would love to, I want to say all these rewards, these giveaways are out of my own pocket here. I would love to keep doing this kind of stuff. I mean, I can't keep spending it for myself though. If anyone liked this and they want to see more of it, and especially more of us just keep talking about it, I could even create a community wallet that's just dedicated to giveaways and fun stuff that we can do in these spaces. So reach out if you want to be a part of that. It doesn't take much if it's from a number of people. So with that said, I'm going to end the space, and I'll see you all next Wednesday.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Good night, guys.
Emojis. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Great.